and my name is Widj-Gaëlle. I'm currently navigating my 20s,
I'ma
and
kick back when you fake like that. I'ma kick back when you fake like that.
every year around that time before I used to release music, I used to call it 3 days of love, where I would release like 3 covers, like 3 songs on this day. But today, my proof of love or my way of love will be to give you all of the things that I've learned on my journey as a content creator that I wish somebody would have told me. These are things that have changed my journey as a creative that creates content, which is slightly different than someone who just wants to be a content creator. Like, I generally just like creativity. So to me, like sitting down and journeying life as a creative, I see most of my life and most of my day-to-day things as a creative thing. I kind of float, consume creative ideas or creative journals or creative books. So like, it's like my life is really surrounded by creativity. So here's the first thing I learned. You need to learn that you can't have all the gear right now. It's gonna take some time for you to gather like all of the material you need to do your content, but it doesn't mean that you can't start now. So the reason I'm saying this is because when I started recording my music at home, or when I started graphic design, I started with what I had until I realized that what I had needed upgrade until I realized that what I had needed an upgrade. I'm holding this is like a stand for phone that I got. I low-key got it for free. So I had to learn that you can't have all of the gear in one day and that you'll get it like as things come along. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of people will stop themselves because they don't feel like they have the best camera. They don't feel like they have the best this, the best that. One of the reasons why I used to record all my videos in black and white was because the quality of the camera that I had absolutely garbage. It looked bad, but I still wanted to know how to edit. So I just went with what I had until I was able to, with the years, get more and more cameras. But it's only as of lately that I've been able to have like material that makes sense. I'm in the middle of my 20s, so it took a little while. I've been doing this since 16, 17, I want to say, ish. So I've been doing this since college. 16, 17. That's college year? No, girl, that's high school. That's so crazy that I would say that on camera. But yeah, I've been doing this for a little minute. What I would tell you as a lesson that I've learned is like focus on the skill as much as possible until you get to actually, those skills they will not disappear when you get better material. They will only enhance how you work and how you go about things. The second thing is, at first I used to think that you needed to sit down, always like brainstorm all of your ideas. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but as you get more responsibility or more things in life, you're gonna realize that like sitting down all the time and trying to brainstorm might not be the best route. So I kind of started implementing different ways in which I could become more creative in my day to day. So when I'm scrolling online, I realized that when I'm scrolling online, I'm not just scrolling. I am also gathering information about how I could do my content. And I'm not saying like I want to imitate everything that everyone else is doing. I'm simply saying that I'm taking notes of like music. I'm taking notes of angles, certain lessons that I could implement later on. I started thinking of life as a creative thing. By that I mean that when I go to the library or when I'm looking through books, like I look at the designs of books. I look at how they put pictures. If I'm watching a documentary, I'm paying attention to how they're putting the fonts. When I go to the store, I'm looking at packaging. I'm looking at different things in the store that I find cool. Color palettes that are being utilized every single day. And then I kind of get inspired from it all. And with time, your work ethic, your approach to creative things, content creation is going to become easier. I think the third advice I could really give is you don't got to make it complicated, right? Like right now, I'm doing this. I'm recording my thoughts and my reflection. These are thoughts that I've had in the past. Now they've become part of my life, actually pondering on or sitting through, or actually, I just started really like recording my thoughts and my reflection, which is not like, this is not the brightest title in the world. I wasn't thinking about a crazy concept. I genuinely thought about how being on YouTube, I felt like YouTube wasn't feeding me content that I would have loved to see. So I kind of became the solution to my problem. It doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be you. When I started editing, one of my biggest mistakes was that I thought I had needed to implement. I used to do the wildest things, all sorts of transitions, all sorts of green screen. I thought it would add to the content. I thought that's what made content. And then I realized that's a lot of work. Also, it's not necessarily adding to my content. It's not necessarily making my content better. Stop doing all the extra stuff and start doing things that you feel are necessary for your content. We always say less is more, but a lot of time we don't utilize that less is more. This is why I'm saying like if you want to do content, you don't gotta make it more complex. So you got this. I'm telling you, I used to be in the same place you were, and clearly I'm doing something slightly right because I'm still around doing something. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Juices. Some flew by. Aren't these birds supposed to be somewhere in the south where it is muy caliente? You know, let me get off this camera.
I'ma
Deuces,
kick
y'all.
back when you fake like that.